Sau thời gian dài chuẩn bị, Tổng lãnh sự quán Mỹ tại thành phố Hồ Chí Minh đã khai trương cuộc triển lãm chủ đề Hợp tác y tế Việt Nam Mỹ trong 25 năm, qua đó phản ánh những bước tiến dài mà hai nước đã đạt được trong lĩnh vực y tế cộng đồng tại Việt Nam. Cuộc triển lãm được tổ chức trên các bức tường của tòa Tổng lãnh sự quán Mỹ tại số 4 Lê Duẩn, phường Bến Nghé, quận 1, thành phố Hồ Chí Minh đến ngày 1 tháng 5 năm 2021. Tổng cộng có 20 bức ảnh ghi lại các khoảnh khắc đặc biệt trong quan hệ hợp tác y tế của hai nước suốt 1/4 thế kỷ. Nhân dịp này, Tổng lãnh sự Mary C.Damour đã có cuộc phỏng vấn độc quyền với Báo Thanh Niên về quan hệ hợp tác y tế song phương và sự ủng hộ của Mỹ khi Việt Nam đảm nhận vai trò ngày càng gia tăng trên trường quốc tế.
We're very happy to have an exhibition of the celebration of the cooperation in health between the United States and Vietnam. You know, it seems kind of coincidental that in the middle of a global pandemic we're putting up this display. But in fact, we wanted to celebrate in our 25th anniversary year, we wanted to celebrate our cooperation on healthcare because that's really been one of the foundational aspects of the U.S.-Vietnam relationship. And I think the global pandemic is the perfect time to celebrate all the full breadth of that relationship. They celebrate the 25 years that we've been working together to cooperate on global health security and improve healthcare in Vietnam, including in the fight against influenza, tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS, help to people with disabilities. You know, so it really does cover the full range of our relationship, and we're very proud of that cooperation between our two countries. And there's a couple of panels on the wall that represent a lot of what we've been working on. The relationship between our Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Ministry of Health, and the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control in Vietnam, really covers, I think, 4 basic pillars. One is surveillance systems, you know, the way we detect disease incidents in our populations, the emergency operations centers that can help respond to those outbreaks, the laboratory networks that provide accurate data to the CDCs so that policymakers can make good decisions on how to respond to disease, and then the capacity of healthcare workers. You know, so all of the cooperation is intended to improve surveillance for diseases, not just in Vietnam, but in the region, as well as the capacity of the Vietnam health system to respond to outbreaks domestically. Do you know, that's a really hard question to answer because I think there are so many good examples of achievements, but I'm going to select one that's important to me personally, and I think that's the relationship we have in responding to HIV/AIDS. Because that again is something we've been working on together for years and continue to work on, and is a terrific example of cooperation between our two governments in how we respond. If I had to pick a second one, I'm going to pick COVID. You know, because I think it exemplifies the results of the 25 years of cooperation together, building the capacity of the health system, building the surveillance networks, building the capacity of the healthcare workers, because that helped Vietnam respond very quickly and effectively to COVID. And then we became partners together. Last year, the United States donated 100 ventilators to Vietnam to help them, to help you in your fight against COVID. And the government, Vietnamese businesses, individual Vietnamese donated over 3 million pieces of personal protective equipment to the United States in the early stages of our fight against COVID-19. And that equipment literally saved lives in the United States, and we're deeply grateful for that. And I think it's a tremendous example of partnership. Well, I think everybody has to admire the way, not just the government, but the people of Vietnam have responded to the COVID-19 outbreak. I mean, the government has done a tremendous job with the surveillance systems in finding incidents, in ramping up testing very quickly that allowed them to identify people who had COVID-19 as opposed to just, other respiratory disease. The contact tracing that they did to identify people who might be exposed to COVID-19, which enabled them to respond very, very quickly. And the most recent outbreak was controlled, I think, within 20 days, which is remarkable. But I don't want to underestimate the contribution of the Vietnamese population, to so very quickly respond, switching to mask wearing, the social distancing, the sacrifices that were made when businesses were closed in order to prevent the spread of disease. Without that discipline in Vietnam, I don't think, no matter what a government does, they can't be successful without the support of their people. Well, it's very clear that we have to cooperate because viruses do not respect borders, right? So what affects Southeast Asia, 2 days later could affect Europe, could affect the United States. Also, building the healthcare capacity of Vietnam is good for both of our countries. During our 25th anniversary, we said, trusted partners prosper together. And good health outcomes are critical to economic development of any country, right? So helping Vietnam strengthen its healthcare system serves many purposes that are to the benefit of the United States. One is improved global health security. One is economic development of Vietnam. Another that a lot of people don't think about, I think this afternoon I'm going to go see off the next military hospital 175 delegation that's heading off to South Sudan as part of the UN peacekeeping force. And again, that's a hospital unit that is serving the UN in its peacekeeping operation. And that's a credit to the strength of the Vietnamese medical system. Vietnam, it's been very impressive to see the increasing role Vietnam is playing on the international stage, whether it's as a member of the UN Security Council. I believe they're going to have the presidency of the council in April, and serving in peacekeeping operations overseas, whether it's as chairman of ASEAN last year and doing a tremendous job under extraordinarily difficult situations, and anything that we can do to support Vietnam in taking that greater increased role and responsibility on the international stage, we want to do to support. And I think the peacekeeping operation is extraordinarily important, not just from the benefit that is going to the UN operation in South Sudan, but as a symbol, frankly, to the global community about what two countries who used to be adversaries can do when they become friends and become comprehensive partners in the world. I think it's a wonderful model of reconciliation. And the power of that symbol is almost as important as the healthcare that peacekeeping unit is going to provide in South Sudan.